these directors and people in studios sometimes have agreed to let me be a part of it.
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
At 57 years old, Kim Reeves has finally revealed the shocking truth about her brother, Keanu Reeves. None other than Joe Rogan has dropped a bombshell. Keanu Reeves has been permanently banned from Hollywood. It's shocking because Keanu is known for being incredibly kind, humble, and generous. He even rides the bus and donates millions to charity, staying grounded despite being a superstar. Why would they turn against such a beloved figure? Let's dig into this urgent mystery to find out what's really going on with Keanu. An unlikely Hollywood outcast. It might sound surprising, especially since he's admired by so many for his kindness, modesty, and genuine nature. Keanu is the kind of person who takes public transport, donates millions to charity, and stays humble despite his fame. Yet some powerful people in Hollywood seem determined to get rid of him. Even Joe Rogan mentioned that he has been kicked out of the industry for good. But the question remains, why would anyone want to destroy a man so universally loved? The answer to this could shake the very foundations of Hollywood. So why would Joe Rogan say something like that? What has he done to upset the industry so much? And why do some people want him gone? Let's explore these questions. His journey in the film world is nothing short of amazing. Over more than 3 decades, he's become a symbol of both massive success and true personal integrity. His movies have made over $3 billion worldwide, proving his lasting popularity in a business that often forgets its stars quickly. But he isn't just known for his hit movies. People love him for his personal qualities too. In a place where ego often rules, his humility, generosity, and kindness are refreshing. He was born in Beirut in 1964, and his early life was anything but stable. His father left the family when he was just 3 years old, leaving him and his mother to navigate life on their own. They moved around a lot, from Sydney to New York and finally to Toronto, much more often than most people could handle. He went to 4 different high schools in 5 years, struggling with dyslexia and feeling out of place at school. Despite these difficulties, he found his love for acting. He started acting on stage when he was 9, and by 15, he knew he wanted to do it for the rest of his life. Taking a big risk, he dropped out of high school at 17 to follow his dream. At 20, he moved to Los Angeles. His path to fame wasn't immediate, but he gradually built his career, starting with a small role in a Canadian sitcom called Hanging In. It wasn't the most glamorous start, but everyone has to begin somewhere. In 1986, he landed a role in the movie River's Edge. This was a big moment because it was when people first started to notice him. Not long after that, he showed his laid-back, cool style in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. As the 1990s kicked off, he took on bigger roles, especially in action films. Movies like Point Break and Speed made him a well-known action hero. But while his career was taking off, his personal life was very different. Around this time, his sister Kim was fighting leukemia, and he decided to take care of her himself. He didn't just stop at helping his family, he also donated millions to cancer research to help others battling the disease. But that was just the beginning of his struggles. He faced an incredible amount of personal loss. In 1993, his close friend River Phoenix died from a drug overdose, which was a heartbreaking event for him. Then in 1999, just as The Matrix made him a global superstar, his girlfriend Jennifer Syme gave birth to a stillborn daughter. Shortly after, Jennifer herself tragically died in a car accident. Despite all these heartbreaking losses, he stayed strong. He didn't let these tragedies make him bitter. Instead, he focused on staying true to his values, not chasing fame for the sake of it. Next, see how Hollywood challenges him in unexpected ways. The unseen costs of Hollywood's glittering lights. Through it all, his life shows that even when faced with deep pain, it is possible to stay kind and compassionate. Despite everything he has gone through, he has kept his humanity and kindness intact. But here's where it gets puzzling. Why does Hollywood still seem so eager to push him to the side? He is surprisingly seen as undesirable by some powerful people in the film industry. It's puzzling to think why anyone would want to push aside someone as humble, generous, and down-to-earth as he is. Yet, in Hollywood, kindness and honesty often come second to power and control. One major event that showed this dislike for him was when Matthew Perry criticized him in his book. Out of nowhere, Perry wondered why creative talents like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger had passed away, but he was still around. This comment angered his many fans, leading to a flood of online support that eventually made Perry take back his words. But why go after him in the first place? It seems Perry isn't the only one with a negative opinion of him. This bad feeling has been brewing quietly, hidden behind the glamour of the entertainment world. Back in 2019, he revealed that Fox Studios had cut ties with him after he turned down a role in Speed 2. For those who know, Speed 2 ended up being a big failure, and he, seeing it might not do well, decided not to be part of it. Even though his decision was smart, Fox Studios didn't appreciate it. Instead of respecting his choice, they blacklisted him. Sandra Bullock might have agreed to return for the sequel, but he saw the potential failure ahead. And he was right. The movie flopped, but Fox still held a grudge, keeping him out of their projects for years. But this wasn't the end of it. While many in the industry welcome these new tools, he is okay with some computer-generated imagery, but strongly opposes anything that might replace an actor's genuine performance. He even shared a story from his early career when a digital tear was added to his performance, showing his long-standing commitment to preserving the human touch in acting. He had never gone through anything like this before. This experience changed the way he saw everything. He was firm in his choice not to be part of a future where technology takes away from real, authentic performances. His strong stand against using tech to create digital versions of actors didn't sit well with the big players in Hollywood. They saw his refusal as a direct challenge to their power. But he wasn't just standing up for himself. He was standing up for all actors who might one day be replaced by technology. It was a brave move, but it certainly didn't make him popular among the industry's most powerful people. Even so, he didn't care what they thought. He wasn't willing to give up his beliefs just to fit in. Now he faces a new dilemma with the rise of artificial intelligence. Keanu's stand against AI in art. He was also doubtful about the use of artificial intelligence in creating art and music. While some people saw these new developments as exciting, he was not convinced. He was worried about the bigger impact these technologies could have on our culture and society. He asked important questions about who really owns these digital creations and what they were actually worth. He imagined a future where art and culture could be controlled and manipulated, and he decided he wouldn't stay quiet about it. This often made him stand out in an industry that loves new things, especially when they shake up the old ways of doing things. People started calling Keanu difficult, stubborn, and a bit of a troublemaker. In Hollywood, where going along with the flow is often rewarded, these kinds of labels meant he was seen as someone who wouldn't just follow the crowd. The industry, which thrives on keeping things in a certain order, often tries to push aside those who don't follow the rules. But Keanu always chose his own path. Whether it was turning down a huge paycheck to avoid making a bad sequel, or saying no to the idea that technology should change the way acting is done, he always went against what was popular. Because of this, some people tried to push him out of the spotlight. Yet you can't push away someone who doesn't depend on the system to begin with. Keanu didn't get into acting for fame, money, or awards. He was driven by his love for acting, and he was determined to follow that passion on his own terms, no matter what Hollywood thought. And this is exactly why his fans admire him so much. But this isn't the whole story. Keanu's appeal goes beyond just his professional choices. He's a rare figure in Hollywood who has stayed relevant for over 30 years while remaining modest in an industry that often celebrates wealth and fame above all else. Unlike many celebrities who show off their lavish lifestyles online, Keanu stays down to earth, proving that you can be famous without losing who you really are. Even though he is one of the most successful actors, he remains incredibly humble, which is another reason people love him. Keanu Reeves likes to stay out of the spotlight. While he does take part in interviews and public events to promote his movies, he only shares what he's comfortable with. This quiet nature makes him even more interesting to many people. When he's in public, Keanu is attentive, respectful, and focused. But he still keeps a part of himself private, which leaves people curious to learn more about him. Fans love him not just for his acting, but also for how he handles his personal life. Keanu doesn't seek out attention or look for approval from Hollywood. His simple way of living has made him stand out to fans all over the internet. For example, think about the sad Keanu meme that went viral in 2010. It showed him sitting alone on a bench, eating a sandwich, giving people a rare glimpse into his private world. While many found it funny, others saw it as a window into the personal losses Keanu has faced. Keanu has dealt with many heartbreaking events, like the loss of his daughter and his girlfriend in a car accident. These tragic moments had a deep impact on him. But rather than letting these experiences lead him down a dark path, he channeled his pain into his acting. This is especially clear in roles like John Wick, where his personal sorrow adds depth and realism to the character. Watch how Keanu deals with his toughest times yet, the quiet strength behind Keanu Reeves' resilience. Many fans notice that Keanu's portrayal of John Wick mirrors his own struggles. They see how both Keanu and the character deal with grief in a way that shows strength and resilience. Keanu has even mentioned in interviews that his life experiences help him bring more truth and emotion to roles like John Wick. What really makes Keanu stand out is how he handles tough times. Even though he has faced so many hardships, he stays kind and humble. He doesn't show off his success or wealth. Instead, he's known for his generosity and simple acts of kindness. Keanu Reeves is considered one of the most giving celebrities. And what's interesting is that this isn't because he talks about it. It's because he chooses not to. The stories of his kindness come from the people who have worked with him and have seen his generosity in action, showing just how big-hearted he truly is. He is famous not just for his movies, but for his kindness both on and off the set. He's touched the lives of many people, from his co-workers to everyday fans. There are countless stories showing how much he cares about those around him. For example, during the filming of The Matrix, he bought Harley-Davidson motorcycles for the entire stunt crew just because he wanted to share his love for biking. There's also a story from a person on Reddit who met him while he was working on the movie Chain Reaction. This person shared that he paid for the crew's breakfast and lunch every day during the last few weeks of filming, which is rare in an industry where many stars usually keep to themselves. But his kindness isn't limited to big gestures. He once gave a ride to a co-worker who needed to pick up his car from the repair shop. Something simple, but quite rare among celebrities. It's these small, thoughtful actions that truly show how grounded and caring he is. He doesn't just share his money, he shares his time and his genuine spirit. One of the most famous stories about his generosity happened in 1997 when he spent time sitting on a sidewalk, sharing food and drinks with a homeless man, just enjoying each other's company. Beyond these personal moments, he has also made big financial sacrifices. It's said that he gave up about $125 million to help keep people employed on his films. While many top actors focus on getting the highest paychecks, he always seems to be thinking about the well-being of those around him. His actions speak for themselves, whether he's working on a movie or just going about his daily life. One time, he even waited in the rain to get into his own rap party instead of using his status to skip the line. He just stood there quietly, not asking for any special treatment. But that's not even the most surprising thing. All these stories show that he really is a good guy in real life, not just in the movies. His actions reflect his true character, one that's deeply kind and always thinking of others. See how Keanu uses his success for good beyond the screen. The true tale of a star's hidden generosity. He is known for being kind and generous, even though he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. His fame hasn't changed his character. He's still very down to earth. Whether he's talking with a fan, helping a coworker, or just being kind to a stranger, his actions show his genuine nature. That's why he's loved not only for his movies, but also for who he is in real life. So what does he do with all the money he earns? He gives a lot to children's hospitals and cancer research centers all over the world. Many people might not know this because he doesn't like to brag about his donations. He even started his own charity foundation, but he never talks about it because he believes that good deeds should speak for themselves. This says a lot about who he really is. He is also known for cutting his own salary to help improve the quality of his films. For example, when filming The Devil's Advocate, he agreed to a lower salary so that Al Pacino could be part of the movie. He did the same for the Matrix sequels, taking less money so they could spend more on special effects. This shows his dedication not only to his craft, but also to the people he works with. And we're lucky to still enjoy his incredible performances on screen. On top of that, he is stepping into the comic book world with Berserker, a live-action movie based on a series he co-wrote. In this film, he will play an immortal warrior working for the US government, showing yet another side of his wide-ranging talent. Movies with actors from different backgrounds have recently proven to be more successful, drawing in bigger crowds and making more money. Studies show that films where between 21 to 30% of the actors come from minority groups are especially popular, earning high ratings and appealing to a wide range of viewers. But not everything is as rosy as it seems. Directors and actors from these minority groups often have to work with much smaller budgets compared to their white or male counterparts. While the actors on the screen are becoming more diverse, the people who hold the money and make the big decisions are not changing as quickly. This shows that there is still a big gap in funding and control. Including more voices and stories in movies does more than just break down old stereotypes. It also brings richer, more genuine depictions of life. Stereotypes, simple and often inaccurate portrayals of people and cultures, have been around for a long time in the movie industry. They have painted unfair pictures, like showing African Americans as lazy or criminal, or portraying Asian Americans as overly studious. By presenting characters and stories that feel more real, movies become more engaging and better reflect the real world. But here's the catch. Even with more diverse casts, the people who have the power in the industry are still mainly white men. They are the ones who run the studios and decide which movies get made. To keep pushing for diversity, this core issue needs to be addressed. We need leaders who represent a wider range of humanity, bringing many different perspectives to the table. Actors have a big role to play in this changing environment. They do more than just act, they are at the front of a movement. With their visibility, they can help shape both the roles they play and the stories being told. By getting involved, they can help guide the industry toward a fairer direction, making sure every group gets a chance to tell their story and be seen in a light that truly reflects who they are. Do you think changing the people in power is the key to real diversity in Hollywood? Comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more.